Hi, greetings for the day. In this presentation, we are going to learn about Karnaugh map or K-map. The Karnaugh map or K-map is a tool for simplifying combinational logic with 3 or 4 variables. K-map's main purpose is to simplify the Boolean algebraic expressions. Each cell in a Karnaugh map differs from an adjacent cell by only one variable. A map is shown here for 3 variables labeled A, B and C, where each cell represents one possible product term. The cells are usually labeled using zeros and ones to represent the variable and its complement. The numbers are entered in gray code because the adjacent cells has to be different only by one variable. Ones are read as the true variable and the zeros are read as the complemented variable. Suppose if A holds a value 1 and B holds a value 0, then we read it as AB bar. So whenever we have a 0, you have to use the variable as a complemented variable. Alternatively, the cells can be labeled with the variable letters. This makes it simple to read, but it takes more time preparing the map. Here, for an example, read the terms which has the yellow colored cell. So, one yellow cell has a combination of A bar B and vertically a C bar. So, it is written as A bar B C bar. The second yellow cell is formed with AB bar and C, hence it is written as AB bar C. As seen in the previous presentations, the sum of products can be implemented using AND gate and OR gate, and it represents high values. So here you can see three input AND gates are connected to an OR gate. The AND gate gives the result as products, then all these products are summed with the OR gate. So you have it as first AND gate will give an output WXY, second AND gate will give me an output XYZ, third AND gate will give me an output YZX, and all these are summed together using an OR gate. So we get the sum of products. Similarly, a product of sum can be implemented using OR gates. The product of sum represents a low value. So here the first OR gate gives me an output of A bar B bar, sorry, A bar plus B bar, and the second OR gate gives me an output B plus C, and both are connected to an AND gate, so which gives me a product of A bar plus B bar and B plus C. For constructing a K-map, we have to remember certain things. The groups may not include any cell containing zeros. The groups may be horizontal or vertical but not a diagonal. Groups must contain 1, 2, 4, 8 or in general a 2 per n cells. If n is equal to 1, a group will contain 2 ones since 2 power 1 is 2. If n is equal to 2, then we have 2 power 2 equal to 4. Each group should be as large as possible and each cell containing a 1 must be in at least one group. Groups may overlap. Groups may wrap around the table. There should be few groups as possible as long as this does not contradict any of the previous set rules. Let's see some examples for K-maps. So we know that K-maps can simplify combinational logic by grouping cells and eliminating variables that change. So here we are asked to group the ones on the map and read the minimum logic. That is, you have to give a simplified expression for the given logic. Right? So here, now what we have a horizontal K-map. We can also construct, we have a vertical K-map. You can also construct a horizontal K-map. Okay. So here on the vertical row, we have AB as inputs, and see the horizontal row is representing the C input. Okay. So C can take only two variables 0 and 1. So C is given, assign the value 0, 1 in each column. Now AB can take all the combinations of zeros and ones. Okay. So vertically for each row the values of AB is given as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. So we can see that it is not like your normal binary input sequence. So we know the rules for K-map is that each cell can have the variable changed, minimum only one variable is allowed to change. Okay. So suppose if my first row I have assigned the values as 0, 0 for AB. In the second row I have to keep A constant and then I have to change the B. So A will remain 0 as such and then B will become 1. Now third row, again from comparing to previous row, I can change only one variable. So A is 0 and B is 1 in the second row. So in the third row, I have only one option. The B equal to 1 gets carried as such, and then I can change only A. I'm allowed to change only A. Hence it becomes 1, 1 here. Now again in the last row, now A stands as 1 and then I can change only the B and now B becomes 0 here. So we have the order as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. So here we have two groups, vertically two ones and horizontally two ones, and they are overlapping. So we have common cell here. Now let us see. For the first row, we have A bar, B bar, C bar. Okay, the first row, first one inside this cell, the first cell corresponds to 0, 0, 0, which we have to read it as A bar, B bar, C bar, because zeros are represented as complements and ones are represented as true variables. Okay, so A bar, B bar, C bar. Now come to the second row. So second row is A bar, B, C bar. A bar, B, C bar. Okay. So here between the first row and second row, in respect to the first column, you have only the B changing. That is, the first cell holds a value A bar, B bar, C bar. Second cell corresponds to A bar, B, C bar. So only B changes here. A and C, they remain as such. Okay. So remove the common term. Okay. Now you have only A bar and C bar. So the first term is A bar, C bar for the expression. Now come to the second row. Second row, row wise you have C changing. Okay. The second row now corresponds to the values A bar, B, C bar and A bar, B, C. Okay, one is A bar, B, C bar and A bar, B, C. So here the C alone is getting changed. Across that boundary C is changing and nothing else is changing. A bar B is constant as such. Okay. So removing the C, eliminating the C that changes, we get it as A bar B. Okay. So here itself in the first line it is given. We are grouping the cells and we are eliminating the variables that keep changing. Okay. So For the first row, for the first map, B is changing. So I'm eliminating B and my first expression is X is equal to A bar C bar. And for the second map, we have the C changing. Hence I'm getting the second term as A bar B. So now let's see an example for K-maps. Here, group the ones on the map and read the minimum logic. So have a look at the given pattern. So there are two examples, two patterns were given. Now let's see the first pattern now. So here you can see that the first row and the last row is taken as a wraparound adjacency. So you have to club the first row, two columns, on the second row both the columns. Now they can put together and they will form a group. Okay, and then you have on the left hand side uh, uh, the first column you have a group, and in the second column down you have one more group. So totally three groups, that is the top row and bottom row, they are wrapped together and that becomes one group. And first column, first two rows there is one group, and second column the last two rows join and they give another group. In the second pattern you have uh, a, three groups here. The first four makes a square, then you have the second row and then the last row. So how to write the expressions here? You can see that when we combine the groups, you have 0 0 of AB and 0 of C. They are mapped with 0 1 of AB and 0 of C. Okay, so for the first column you have A bar, B bar, C bar and A, B, C bar. Okay, so B and B bar alone changes, so you have it as A bar, C bar. Then coming to the next point where you go for the wrap around group. So in the wrap around group you have A bar, B bar, C bar plus A bar, B bar, C and A, B bar, C bar and A, B bar, C. That is for the first row it is A bar, B bar, C bar and A bar, B bar, C. For the last row it is A, B bar, C bar and A, B bar, C. So you can see that everything when you take in account, A and C changes, B doesn't change. B, you have only B bar acting in both the rows, the top row and the bottom row, the wraparound rows. Okay, so B is constantly 0 and only A is changing from 0 to 1 and C is changing from 0 to 1. So for that wraparound group, you have B bar as the result. So you'll have a B bar. For the first one it was A bar, C bar. For the second one it is B bar. And now the last one. So last one you can say it is A, B, C and A, B bar, C. Okay. So here the B changes as B and B bar, but A and C remains constant. So for that you have an AC. So the result is, for the wrap around you have a B bar, then for the first column you have A bar, C bar and for the second column you have it as AC. Now let's go for the second pattern. In the second pattern we have three groups here. That is one square group and the second row fully forms a group and the last row you have a grouping. Okay, so let's see the square group. So in the square group you have the common element as a map of 0 1 0 0 and 0 1 0 1, right? So here for the second group B is changing, sorry, for the first group in both the rows B is changing because AB holds a value 0 0 0 1, which means B is changing from 0 to 1, and column wise for the first two columns D is changing because again D is changing from 0 to 1. So hence B changes, D changes. So we have to eliminate B and D, and your result will be A bar C bar because A and C holds the value 0 0. Then for the second row now you have all the four columns here. The row remains constant, that is the AB value remains constant, and throughout the column the values of both C and D changes continuously. Okay, so eliminate CD, and since your A bar B is constant, for the second group your simplified expression is A bar B. Okay, because A holds a value 0 and B is 1, so it is A bar B. Now then come to the last row. In the last row you have the values in second and third column. So in the second and third column the value of C changes from 0 to 1, that is 0 1 1 1, but the row value doesn't change. Hence for the third group, since C changes, eliminate C so that you will have it as A B bar D, because for second and third column D is having the value 1 and 1, so it is D, it is read as D, and A is constant 1, B is constantly a 0, hence we read it as B bar, complement value. So for the last row it is A B bar D. So A bar C bar plus A bar B plus A B bar D is the required simplified expression for the second pattern. So these are some terms which is commonly used here. Variable. Variable means a symbol which is used to represent a logical quantity that can have a value 0 or 1. It is your A, B, C, D. These are the variables here. Complement means it is the inverse of a number. So in Boolean algebra, the inverse function is expressed with a bar over the variable. That is, if 1 is always considered as a true value, if A is 1, when A takes the value 0, you put it as A bar. So 0 is complement of 1, and if it is a complement, you will represent it as a bar over the variable. Then sum term, the Boolean sum of two or more equivalent is an equivalent for an OR operation. And then product term, it is equivalent to an AND operation, because AND gate does a product and OR gate does a sum. So it is equivalent to OR AND operations, the product and the sum term. The sum of products is a form of Boolean expression that is basically the ORing of ANDed terms, because sum means OR, product means AND. So the sum of product means adding the product. So adding means OR, again product means AND, so ORing of ANDed terms. Similarly, product of sum is basically ANDing of ORed terms. K-map is an arrangement of cells representing combinations of literals in a Boolean expression and is used for systematic simplification of the given logical expressions. Okay, and you have a standard hardware description language for calculating the K-map, which is called as VHDL. So always we wonder why we need to learn this. K-map generally is used for demonstrating concepts used in computer program to simplify a very large circuit, because when you have so many AND gates and OR gates, it's very difficult to keep simplifying the expression. So K-map is useful. and for visualizing concepts related to manipulating Boolean algebras and for simplification of the adder circuits. So thank you.